Let's switch gears now and focus on Manchester United, shall we? This is what Ten Hag had to say after the game about not playing Cristiano Ronaldo. I wouldn't bring him on out of respect for Cristiano for his big career. This makes sense, Craig?
I didn't have a problem with him not playing or coming on, to be honest with you. I had more of an issue with the midfield situation, because that's where you're going to get dominated and you're going to get the runaround, which they did. And you've got to question why he thinks he's not going to go in there with two holding midfielders. He's just brought one of the most experienced in world football, one of the most successful in world football, and Casemiro has been there a few weeks now. He's been there a few weeks. I mean, you're not playing Brentford. Ironically, sorry. You're not playing mid-table team at home. You're playing Man City at the Etihad, and I think you had to get a little change of shape in the midfield to combat that area, because once De Bruyne in particular and Haaland got turned in those central areas, they were done. They were done. And you can't ask Eriksen and McTominay to do that. And I thought he needed an extra defensive body. It might not have made a difference to winning the game, but I think it made a difference to the embarrassment of the performance.
This has been echoed pretty much from everyone that I've heard, Jules, talking about the mistakes that he made in the starting 11. Ten Hag is pragmatic. He knows what he was coming up against. Why did he go into this tie with such naivety almost?
Well, the way I see it is that he was very cocky and very complacent in a way. And you heard it in his on English television, the interview, the little interview, the 3 questions that the managers do before the game. And he said, like, oh yeah, there's a lot of similarities between us and City. But you know, we want to play our game. No, you don't play your game because you made a massive mistake. And that's on you, by the way, this humiliation, because Craig is 100% right. Whether you like McTominay or not, Casemiro should not be sat on that bench anyway. And you should not think that this team... When I saw the lineup, I was like, okay, I really hope here there's a little twist somewhere. It's a 3 at the back. I don't know, someone is a bit deeper. I don't know, because if he really plays this 4-2-3-1, they're going to get destroyed. Because you cannot play like that. Go to the Etihad and think, yeah, we're going to play like that. And on top of everything, the attitude is wrong. You give them free. It's not freedom. It's like literally the motorway. What's that? The 66 motorway that goes from one side to the US to the others. This was like the pitch for City yesterday. There was just nothing. And I think you can't approach a game like this, of this magnitude, against one of the greatest team of all time, and just think like, oh yeah, let's go like this and play like we did against Southampton, where, by the way, you won, but you didn't play well. And same with Arsenal, and same with all those 4 wins that you got, pretty much. You didn't play well at all. And for him to think that he can go to the Etihad and basically play against Pep in the Pep way, I thought was completely stupid.
If we all think that, Mario, why? Like, Casemiro is one of the best defenders. This is exactly what you want Casemiro to come in and do, isn't it? To go up against City, disrupt that midfield.
The biggest question will come, why did you bring Casemiro there? If you want him there, then you got to play him. And I think, you know, like, you can talk about it. Look, McTominay, a younger player. Then you have Eriksen. And Eriksen is a player that, look, when they have the ball, great. But when you don't have the ball, and when you go away from home, the guys already highlighted, when you go away from, I know Ten Hag, confidence is what, you know, the Dutch football is like that. He comes from Ajax. But I always say that when we cross the water, it's a different way. Okay, Champions League is maybe a certain way that we can adapt really quickly. But when we come to another league as a coach, we have to understand what really is at stake. And I don't think it was as clear as it should be to him. That he shouldn't have known. My team, like Jules just said, the team did some performances against before they met City. He had 4 games. He was like, okay, maybe the confidence is, and everybody start talking about them again and say like they're doing well. But now you're going to play against City. What do you need to do now? Step away from always trying to look good. Sometimes you just need to mean business. And I don't think that was clear. He was not meant to play that game on business-wise. He wanted to play good, and then you open yourself up. And when you play against a team that's been there for so long, and look how Pep is building his team. It's not like he's getting 5 new players in. He is doing that. He clearly, at the beginning of the season, he brought some new guys in. And now, he's got to step away from that and just focus on the English game is played a different way. It's a derby, more at stake, and people don't turn up like you play every game. Derbies are different. Derbies are not only about you. It's about everybody around that support that team, and you will hear them all the time. So I think he needed to really reset.
it makes me think more and more that he may not have strongly wanted Casemiro.
Right.
I'm a little...
As good a player as he's been, we know he's not... The last year at Real Madrid, they were successful, but he wasn't the most mobile, right? He wasn't. Mm-hmm. If he, as a manager, and I know he lacked a little bit of fitness when he first came in, but if he wanted him, he's been there long enough. If he really, really wanted him, and even though McTominay's done well, you've found a way to get him in the side. It's kind of saying to me that... It's pointing to me that he took him, but it was United that wanted to get a player in to make a statement, rather than Ten Hag to fit in the way he wants to play. Nonetheless, he should have played yesterday, in my opinion.
I'm a little more sympathetic in that I think hindsight is 20/20. But given the start that United made to the season, and then you go on this run where you win the last 4 league games, and you play McTominay, who had been very good as that one holding midfielder. You play Eriksen, who is the creator in Manchester United's midfield. I understand you thinking that let's not change this winning team. Let's go.
But look who they beat, Shaq, and look who they were coming up with.
Right, okay, but I understand. But included in that is Arsenal, is Liverpool, team who sitting at the top of the table, the team who chased Manchester City down last season. And so I sympathise with the cliche of not changing a winning team. The question then becomes, you see it unravelling really quickly. When do you bring in Casemiro? Do you make a substitution 20 minutes into the game? In which case now it becomes a lot more about man management. Do you make that change at half-time? Same discussion we're having about Ronaldo. I don't see the point in turning to somebody who's won 5 Champions Leagues at half-time and 4-0 down to say, warm up. You know, I leave Casemiro out similarly as you do it with Ronaldo. So as much as I understand the criticism, I'm a little bit more sympathetic with why he didn't go that way from his start.
He's supposed to be this tactical coach that's very clever. I'm not saying he's not, but I can't remember exactly the time of the goals, but he knew he was getting absolutely smashed to pieces.
Was it about 18 or something like that for his goal?
So 20-25 minutes into the game, you have to wait to half-time. You don't have to wait. You don't have to worry about egos. You have to be bigger than that as a manager and say, like, what's worse, upsetting somebody's ego or sitting back here doing nothing and getting an absolute hammering? Right. Then it's too late. Surely God had to see that and make a change. Try and nullify the key areas of that midfield and in front of that back line that were getting hammered. And he did nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I thought we were going to talk about Man United anymore. I thought you were down at the top.
Well, you never told me to leave.
Why did I do? You didn't heed that instruction.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.